Hello there. Hey, anyone who joins us, this is an um, impromptu chat. I am just here to talk about the great weekend that I had in Clarion, Pennsylvania. Um, I was at a meetup that was hosted by Freezer Bound Outdoors, and he has this was the 2026 Creators Rendezvous. So I'm going to wait and see if more people come in before I start speaking about all of the fun that I had. Anyone in yet? Yeah, I know it's late, and again, this isn't an impromptu. Um, I really don't have a set schedule for going live. It's very difficult for me to um, have a fixed schedule. So let me hang in here a few more minutes and see if anyone starts. Otherwise, I'll be talking to the man on the screen. And if anyone catches this replay, I'm going to talk about something that I only do at meetups and at rendezvous. So all right, we got one person in there. Thank you for joining in. Definitely appreciate it. So you are the first one in. Welcome. So I will speak to you. Well, we have one person in, one person out. Let's see what happens. Okay, for the one person, gentleman or lady, I want to start off by saying, okay, thank you very much. That I attended the Freezer Bound Outdoor. That's the YouTube channel, and I attended the Creators Rendezvous, the 2026 Creators Rendezvous, and it was a blast. It was such a blast that I had to take notes. But one thing that's unusual is that I usually do not sleep in a tent, but because it was a rendezvous and there is privacy there, I did sleep in a 6-man tent. I had so much space that it was unbelievable. And in that tent, I had 4 foam bedrolls, two one on top of the other, and then another on top of another. The 4 of them, I put them together to have, because when I'm sleeping, I like to roll over and so forth. So I had 4 foam 4 foam bed rolls, a blanket, and 2 wool blankets. And the reason I had all of that because we had a lot of strong winds in Clarion, Pennsylvania this weekend, a lot of strong winds. And that night, it was chilly. Even before I got there, I stayed overnight somewhere else, and the wind was just blowing and howling. So when I got there that Friday morning, I set up my tent and everything. I had a 28 watt panel. I don't know if I can see any of the chat right now. I think I may have it set slow. I'm not sure, but I'll continue. Anyway, and I had the solar. I had some solar banks to charge up my solar banks for my phone, for my camera batteries, and so forth, because there was no electricity supply. So sleeping in a tent is like a luxury to me um, compared to sleeping in a under a tarp out in the bush. So that was the first thing that was like, oh man, this is so much better than under the circumstances. It was a lot of fun just sleeping in a tent. Hey, prepared. Great to see you as well. So that's the first thing that I want to talk about, is that sleeping in that tent was a lot of fun. Um, and I had all of my gear. All of my gear was in my tent except for my food. I didn't want to take a chance on feeding any raccoon, possum, squirrels, or anything like that. So I kept all of my food in the car along with my fishing gear. And so I got there that day, I guess about 8 o'clock that morning. And by 9 o'clock, the host of the Creator's Rendezvous, Adam, had started building the fire. And he has this really nice fire pit, very circular, with bricks sitting on top of gravel. And that fire pit did not go out until when I left Sunday. That fire pit was still going. So we had all of this acreage with this wonderful fire pit, a nice pavilion, and a nice pond, just to enjoy that entire weekend. Um, and then what we did the very first day, now they have something that is called the fishing derby. Let me do something here. They have something that's called the fishing derby. And they this year they mixed the kids and the adults together. And there are two winners. Whoever catches the most fish will get a trophy, and whoever catches the largest fish will get a trophy. So now I may have mentioned this last year. I pulled out this nice bass, maybe 13 inches or so. I reeled it in, got it up to the bank. I was holding my rod in my right hand, went to grab him, and he flipped back into the water. So I never landed the fish. Hey, I see we have 4 people in. Thank you very much. Very much appreciated. So we started off with we started practicing for the fishing derby. You know, we go out, see, let's go find our spots, find out where the deep water is, so on and so forth. Let's see which lures work well. And I tried 3 different lures, and during that practice session that morning, I didn't even get a bite, none whatsoever. So when it was time to have the fishing derby, the host son, as a matter of fact, hold on 1 minute. I'm going to go get something. I hope I can find it. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. A quick run downstairs and back up. But anyway, when the fishing derby started, and the fishing derby is only 1 hour. So we started the fishing derby at 12 o'clock. One of the contestants, which was a child, wasn't far from me, and he was just catching these small fish, catching them. And his goal was, I'm going to catch 7 fish so that I will win the category of who catches the most fish. And then he's going to go after the big one. Well, my idea was just get the large one. I want that trophy. There was another guy, only fins. He had caught like 4 fish, during the practice session and so forth. So the competition starts, and the young kid, he starts pulling these fish up. Fish on, one fish. Fish on, two fish. Fish on, four fish. Fish on, five fish. In the meantime, another guy, he's casting using a spinner bait, pulls in a nice bass. They measure it. I think it was, I want to say 12, 13 inches. Another guy has already pulled in a bass at 23 inches. Then he pulls in two catfish. But I'm casting and I'm casting. I'm on my third lure. I went from a black and silver frog, from a gold grub, and then I got a purple worm, and I start fishing at the bottom. So we had about 10 minutes ago. I still have nothing. About 5 minutes before the fishing derby is over, I got a fish on. But I'm not even saying fish on until I get that fish up on the bank. So when I got the fish up on the bank and got him in my hand, that's when I said fish on. And I think they measured the fish at about 12 and maybe not more than 13 inches, very close. So then they said 2 minutes, 2 minutes. I'm casting and casting again. I get something on my hook. I'm reeling it in. Then it releases. And this is what it was, guys. Whatever got onto my hook, this purple worm, it took half of it. So let's see. That's what the second fish I had did, that took part of the worm. So needless to say, I only got one fish, but it was a very, very nice bass. And I'm glad of that. Hey, I see we have 7 people. I don't know what's happening with the chat, but, oh, I'm sorry. It's my fault. Prepared for, thank you, Jaws. Okay. So anyway, the fishing derby was fabulous. I mean, that's pressure. You have 1 hour to catch a large fish, or 1 hour to catch as many fish as you can. So the winners of the fishing derby for the adult was a content creator by the name of Only Fins. He caught a bass that was 23 inches. So Only Fins won the trophy for the largest fish. The contestant for the children, the host's son, he won that with 5 fish. And what's so strange that the 2 people that won it last year, let's see, they didn't win it this year. So there's always changes. So the fishing derby was fabulous. And I've tried to get people to come to this event, especially for the fishing derby. And I hear a lot of people say, oh man, I fish out in the ocean. I fish out in the sea. I said, well, good. Come to the Creators Rendezvous and enter the contest, because this is about bass fishing. This is about putting that lure out there, agitating the bass, bringing them in, or special bait to bring in catfish. So the fishing derby was off the chain. It was a lot of fun. I had been waiting 365 days to participate in this fishing derby once again. Now, the next thing that we had, let's see, we had, I got to tell you this. The entire time we were there, we had a massive amount of wood, because it was cool, it was chilly, the sun come out, but we had some of the greatest wood piles, and you'll see them in the video. We had more wood than you can imagine. And the crackling and the popping of that wood was just beautiful. So right before when the day started, that fire started, and it continued to go on and on and on. And that fire pit is made of nothing but all bricks. So the next thing we did, something that was a lot of fun, was the fire challenge. There are 4 tables that has a string attached, and it has a flag. And we started out with the youngsters first. The youngsters are giving a ferro rod and a striker. They're giving some wax tinder, some wood chips, and some kindling. So whoever can build a fire the quickest and high enough to pop the string wins. So there's a first place, second place, third place, and a fourth place. And what's so fabulous about that is to see a child who has never struck a ferrocerium rod before learn how to do it so quickly. And you can see the intensity in these young kids striking that ferro rod. Of course, there was some coaching and teaching and so forth, but the fun part was actually teaching these kids to use the ferro rod and to get that fire going and to get it at least 3 feet to make the string pop, burn, so that the flag will pop. So the kids did that, and that was awesome. Now, last year when I did this, first time I ever did this, I think it took me a while to get this done. Even though I've used a ferrocerium rod numerous times, it's all about the fire lay. And so it was the adults that was next. I think, no, there was another round of the youngsters, and then there were the adults, me and 3 other individuals. So I had the knife and the ferrocerium rod, I had the wax tinder, the wood chips, and some kindling. When they said go, I started striking and striking and striking and striking. I got the tinder lit. I flipped over the bird's nest, the tinder, put some wood chips, and started building a log cabin. And I thought it was less than a minute, so maybe it was a minute and a half. My string popped. I didn't even know it until everyone had mentioned it. So I was very, very, very proud with that. So my confidence was really built up. I felt redemption from last year. And so it's like, okay, now tomorrow is the finals. So we had the fire challenge. That turned out very, very well. So that night, we basically just sat around the fire pit, shoot the breeze with all the other content creators. Just talked about how we could get more individuals there, the fun we had, the weather. It had gotten cooler. The host parents were there. There was so much food that I didn't have to prepare any of my food the entire weekend, except for a can of beans. And I'll tell you about that as well. So I have some notes here. And the next day, the second day, we had to do a shelter building contest. The kids had to do a shelter building contest. I was on one team, and we had another individual named Han. It was his team. So I had 3 young boys, and Han had 3 young boys. We both were given a 6x8 tarp and 50 feet of 550 paracord. And the objective was to see which team could make the best shelter or win the shelter contest. So I started off with my team, and we both had 4 tent pegs. So everyone had the same thing. It's 6x8 tarp, 50 feet of paracord, 550 paracord, and 4 tent pegs. So my team went over there. We had 30 minutes to do this. I think my team was 10, 9, and 5. I'm not sure. So we started out. I instructed them, we're going to make the ridge line. So one of the guys, other kids, made a square knot on one end. We went to the other tree and we used a trucker's hitch. So we put the tarp on top of the ridge line and started making an A-frame. Now, in order to make this A-frame, we needed more paracord. So we cut maybe a foot of maybe a foot, 2 feet of paracord, and then we cut that in half, and we made Prusik knots. I showed them the Prusik knots. So we made the Prusik knots, and then I said, now we need some of Mother Nature to put into the Prusik knots to make the tarp tight. So we did that. We took the tent pegs in each corner, 4 corners, and we staked them down. Now, I take it back. We had six tent pegs. Each team had 6 tent pegs. So we used 4 on each corner and 2 on the front side, which means we had to make 2 additional tent pegs. So with me being the coach on this team, or the captain of this team, I did not want the kids to handle a fixed blade knife. So I made 2 tent pegs, but I let them insert them. So once we had our A-frame up, they all 3 went in there. And then when they came out, we kicked leaves around the edge. So after 30 minutes, we were complete, and the Hans team was complete. So when the judges had to pick a winner, they gave their reasonings for the winner. One of the shelters, they said they liked it because for a bug out shelter, it was low, it blocked the wind, and we had 2 exits. Also, we could put debris on one exit to keep the wind from coming in. So they liked that idea. The Hans team had more or less of I'll say a 20, 40, they had a C-fly with a ground sheet. And I think that was a good idea. So when the judges, hey, KP, how you doing, man? Thanks for joining in. I appreciate it. So when the judges announced the winners, I was surprised because my team won. And again, the other team had a very nice shelter, except that their ground sheet extended beyond the roof, which the judges all agreed that would bring water into their shelter. Whereas mine, the A-frame water would run off. So my team was very happy about that. They shook hands afterwards, and it was a blast. So exciting events so far was the fishing derby, the fire challenge on the first day, the fishing derby and the fire challenge on the first day. The second day was the shelter building contest. And then it was another round of the fire challenge. So this was a champion portion. Now, the winner last year, Adam, who hosts the event, Freezer Bound Outdoors 2026 Creators Rendezvous, he only had to do the last round. Hey, Freezer Bound, how are you doing? Yeah, champion round. He had to do the champion round. So, again, guys, the night before I did this in, less than 2 minutes, and I was really surprised. So I'm sitting in the seat not where the champion had worn last year, because it's like, hey, I haven't warrant sitting in that seat yet. So they said go. And I heard the Ferris Raj just going and going and going. And I heard someone says, oh, Boxy has a fire going. I said, oh, no. I finally got my fire going. I said, I got to catch Boxy. Even though I knew the champion, Adam, was next to me. Then I heard someone said, Adam's got his fires going. He's got his fire going. And there was someone else, I think it was Clay. Next thing you know, pop, Adam has won again. I said, okay, I'm going to go for second. Then there was Boxy, his pop. Then Clay, his pop. So here I am sitting in fourth place, but the string finally popped, and I did it quicker than I did last year, but I think I was so geared up as that, oh man, can I really beat Adam this year? I didn't. So now I have to wait 365. Well, today is, what is this, Wednesday? I have to wait 360 something days again to try that challenge, you know? But that fire challenge was a blast, and it was held tonight. And the thing about it, it is something about just hearing all the Ferris Raj strike, strike, strike. It was a blast. 362 days, that's right. But it was a blast. I really enjoyed that. And so the next morning, I said, you know what? I hadn't cooked anything yet. So I just took some beans out of my car. And I said, you know, I just pulled the can back. I just put them in the fire. I said, I'm going to eat some beans cowboy style. I had been drinking coffee. Beans, I tested the beans. They're still cold. Put them back in the fire. Tried it again. Put them back in the fire. Finally got them out. I said, they need seasoning. So went over to the pavilion, put some Doritos in them. It was right on time. But then Adam says, he mentioned something about a volcano egg. So I'm thinking of volcano egg. So he explained how he learned about it. So the next thing I know, I think his son went and got an egg, and Adam takes a some type of pick. I think it was, I'm not sure. And he puts this little hole into the egg, and he clears out a spot in the fire pit, and he puts it there. So I think the egg had been there maybe 30 minutes. So he said, well, he's going to give it a try. A hot dog stick. Yeah, it was a hot dog stick. So he said, I'm going to take this out and give it a try, you know. So he took it out, and it was still hot because, of course, he had to wear the gloves. So he's taking it out, and he's peeling it, and he's peeling it, and he's peeling it, being very, very careful peeling it. And so then he finally gets it open, and it's a sunny side up egg. But it was still edible. So his son says, hey, Dad, I'll try it. So he said, okay, Clay. He takes it. Clay takes it, takes a fork, he tastes it. Says, not bad. It's pretty good. Take some more. It's not bad. So to prove that that's something that really works. So later on, another individual, Dan, says, you know what? I'm going to try it. So Dan takes it. He starts to peel it. He says, oh, it peels very, very easily. So he takes the yolk, eats the yolk. It's very good as well. He eats the other portion, the white portion, very well. So those are some of the skills that I know I'm going to try. Even though I'm a vegetarian, I still can eat byproducts of meat. So that's something I'm going to try. But also, guys, I forgot to mention, they had a giveaway. They have sponsors that donate prizes, and contestants or participants also bring things to give away. So they had a giveaway that lasted about 30 minutes or so. There were some great prizes. There were some grills. I got a pair of binocular, the whole binoculars. There were books given away. There were cooking utensils given away. There was a $30 gift certificate given away. And again, individuals donate these. There were things donated from an individual by the name of Jailbait and Tackle. You get this hook. As a matter of fact, let me show it to you. Okay, guys, this is the hook. Everyone, Jailbait and Tackle gave everyone a hook, as you can see. So it's going to stay on my cap. I plan on wearing this cap with this hook again next year. To the creators, it will be the 2027 Creators Rendezvous. And but that was, I mean, it was such a blast. And hats off to this guy named Dan. Dan brought so much wood that he harvested and processed. And I think it was Dan and the creators, Adam's father, that really kept the fire going. And I was just so mesmerized because the wood was so neatly cut. Dan placed the wood in the fireplace strategically. And it was just a blast just listening to the crackling and popping of that fire. And I mean, so hats off to Dan. But guys, that was like, I really enjoyed that Creators Rendezvous. It is so wholesome. I mean, it's not like any other commercialized meetup. It's just go there, let your hair down. Well, not too much hair, and just enjoy. And I'm telling you, I started off the day before, and I said, I'm gonna just drive all the way through, but I always stop at this Walmart, and I'm sitting in my car, and the wind's blowing, and I'm thinking, wow, will there really be a fire challenge? I've been waiting for this fire challenge. Will there really be one? So got there, and I took off the next morning. I'm driving there, and of course, I'm taking the back roads through mountains. These are mountains to me, but everyone says these are rolling hills. And so I'm driving through there. I'm seeing trees in the road. There are detours. The wind was really, really strong, guys. But I'm telling you, if you guys get the opportunity, this is something that I highly suggest you come and check out. It is called, again, Creators Rendezvous. So it will be 2027 Creators Rendezvous, and the host is Frieza Bound Outdoors. You guys, you have to. I mean, there's just some of the most wonderful people. I even his name is Chris Shade Tree Mechanic. He won a headlamp, and I was saying, wow. Right before that, I said, if anyone doesn't pick that headlamp, when my turn comes, I'm going to pick it. Chris from Shade Tree Mechanics picked it. Right after Chris got the light, I think he pulled his wife named Rebecca. She won a very nice backpack, and also in that backpack there were some gaiters, basically go around your legs to protect you from snake bites and so forth. So again, I'm telling you, it's a fantastic group of individuals. So the next day, Chris and Rebecca was speaking, and they were saying, they had no use for the gators. What were they going to do with them? So they said, Chris said, well, I was going to bring you a ugly stick, but I really don't have any that's not in use. He said, so instead, we're going to gift you these gators. I couldn't believe it, because I always wear snake boots, especially in the summertime. And sometimes I want to take those snake boots off, but then I don't want to go barefooted in the bush. So now I get to wear my regular boots with my gaiters, which I am going to use this weekend. So again, thanks a lot, Rebecca from Shade Tree Mechanic, and Chris as well. And also there was a gentleman there named Nicholas Green. And I filmed him throwing this thing called an at ladder, but then I thought, I don't know if I should put this in here because YouTube may say this is something that's causing harm and so on and so forth. But I didn't do that. But Nicholas and I, we got to talk about that, and he was giving me the history of the at ladder well, I really can't pronounce it, but he was giving me the history of it. And then Nicholas and I actually we went back into the woodlands, and we just started walking. And one of the things he said, just listen, just quietness. It was so peaceful, and the smell of all the pine. When you're in the city, you can be quiet like I am right now. I still can hear people outside. But when we were back there, it was just so mellow. And Nick was going to set up a hammock back there on his vehicle, but he forgot his straps. So he ended up sleeping in his truck. And so these are all the great experiences you get to have when you go to events, meetup events, and rendezvous and so forth. But I'm telling you, I learned a lot last year there. Especially when it comes to fishing under pressure and making a fire under pressure. I make fires all the time. But one thing that me and Adam agree on is that fire is unpredictable. But there is a technique to actually building a fire. And I think that fire challenge is really good because what happens if you're out in the bush, it's heavy rain comes, and you need to make a fire quickly, and you have a ferrocerium rod. Of course, I carry matches and lighters, but I'm very hesitant to use them. I won't use them unless it is an emergency. So learning how to start that fire quickly, knowing how to use the tinder and your kindling, and any large pieces of fuel, and of course you have the air, is very, very important. So there's a lot I learned there. If you don't learn but one thing, you've learned a lot. And I'm really looking forward to making a volcano egg. I can't wait. I just want to make sure that I get the eggs out in the bush without breaking them. But yeah, guys, I wrote down some stuff. I'm telling you, it was just so much good stuff that I had to write it down, about the tent. Again, and this is another thing. It was so windy. I have this tent that I can stand up in. This is my second time using this tent. The first time I used it, the wind did somewhat blow it, and I had to really stake it down very well. This time, I used more paracord to stake it down, but that thing kept blowing and leaning. So next year when I go there, I'm going to take a lower tent that I've used before, which is a 3-man tent, and not worry. That other tent, I think I'm going to put it up in my backyard one day and just live in my backyard for a weekend without any electricity, no gas, no water. I'm going to take my water out there. I'm going to take a little fire pit out there. I'm going to have some wood, and I'm going to see what it's really like to live outdoors for 2 days. Now, I've been out in the bush, but in my backyard, I'm not going to have a fire like there was at the rendezvous. That's for sure. But what I'm encouraging, every person I see, I'm going to do my best to really tell you about the fun, the camaraderie, the host, just so much food, the gifts, just watching the kids have so much fun building shelters, being a part of that. It is really a 10 out of 10. And by the way, Adam, I made it home safely. Guys, I'm coming home, and I remember seeing 522. I said, oh, wait a minute, 522. That'll take me straight to my son's place. So instead of getting off of 522, I took 522 all the way into where my son lives, got there that evening, ate again, took a nap. The nap ended up to being an overnighter. I didn't get home till about maybe 2 or 3 the next day. But I really had a great weekend, guy. I really did. So I want you guys, everybody in this chat, anyone that you know, we have to do our best to get them to one of the most exciting events ever, and that is the Creators Rendezvous. Even some individuals that weren't there this year, but they were there last year. I'm hoping to see them again. I'm going to do my best to round up as many people as I can, because I think this anyone that's concerned about the outdoors and enjoy the outdoors, hey, you got to be there. I mean, I also got a chance to shoot a paintball gun, and this comes with no sight. But after being coached for a while, man, that thing was fun. So I know when I go to a store and see one, it's going to be, let's see if you can keep that credit card in your pocket for a while. So, but that looks like a lot of fun. I mean, once you learn how to aim it, you won't miss your target. And that thing, it was so much fun. But yeah, guys, and when I got home that Tuesday, hey, how you doing? Ophia, how are you? Great. I'm glad you dropped in. Hey, even though I think you're in Arkansas, take a trip on up to Clarion, Pennsylvania. Great time. And also, guys, I'm making a video that should be out Saturday, and it's going to show. Oh, I'm doing good in Tennessee. Okay, I understand. I've been through Tennessee. I like Tennessee. Also, guys, one of the fun things is that one of the contestants, he got the fire going. The string was engulfed in flames, but it took about 20 minutes for that string to pop. So that goes to show you, I mean, you really can't predict fire. You really can't. We were sitting there just watching and watching and watching, and I'm going to put all of that on film. I videoed all of that, but that was so unusual for a piece of string to be engulfed in this fire and it won't pop for 20, 23 minutes or something like that. But that was, again, fire is unpredictable. I think it has a lot to do with moisture in the air, temperature. I don't know, but it was really fun. And another thing that I did see, I know I'm skipping all over now. There was this little girl who was out there practicing for the fishing derby, and she caught a nice size fish. I don't know if that was her first fish ever, but when you see the excitement on her face, that makes the drive there and back so worth it. When you see a little kid accomplish something for the first time, it's amazing. When you see the little kids trying so hard to strike that fearsome rod, they're so intense and they're just striking and striking and striking and striking. That's how we all learn. I'm sure everyone that has used a fearsome rod, we did the same thing. We start off just striking and striking and striking and striking until it becomes second nature. So I'm telling you, that was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I think this was the 6th year of the Creators Rendezvous, and I was there this year and last year. I'm looking forward to next year. And guys, even when you compete in the event, it's all about fun. It's all about fun. But you know that there's always you're gonna want to win, but it is just so much fun. And I can't wait for next year. I can't wait to do it again. And I'm really hoping to get up to Pennsylvania before. I just have to coordinate some things with hunting season and so forth. But it was really nice, man. If you guys, if you see, I have a whole page of notes here that as soon as I came on, I just start writing things like things that I can't forget, And I'm sure there's some things I left out, but it was just a blast, man. These kids, that one guy, I just called him Mr. Tenacity. This guy Clayton, he just has so much stick to itness. He is going to follow things out, and that's a very good characteristic to have, is steadfastness, But yeah, it was a blast, guy. So guys, I just wanted to come on here and just, even before I put the video, I couldn't wait. I had to come out and tell you guys something, but I'm working on a video for right now, and what I want to capture is all of the fire challenge, as much as I can, about the shelter building, the fishing derby. Even on Saturday night, two of the guys went out again, and they were catching. It's coming out. It's definitely going to come out. I'm aiming for Saturday morning. Two other guys went out late Saturday night, had their headlamps on, and they did. It was OnlyFans and Nicholas Green. So guys, also I'm going to put their channel in the description. Be sure to go and check out their channel. I mean, there's a guy named Geriatric Outdoors. He does a lot of outdoors things. Again, OnlyFans, Nicholas Green, Boxy. I don't have him in front of me right now, but Chris Shade Tree Mechanic, City Sticker. There's some more. I don't have. They're not in front of me, but man, I'm telling you, this is. And again, as I said, it's so wholesome. It's not commercialized, but I'm going to bring. I'm already thinking, what am I going to bring next year to donate? I want to bring something really, really, really nice. I had brought some, basically some fire starters, some lures, some little fork and knife thing, and I think that's about it. But I want to get something that's really, really special, and someone's going to win. Maybe a gift certificate, because one guy did win a gift certificate, $30 gift certificate, and that can always come in handy. I may even try sleeping in the woodlands, but it's so seldom that I get to sleep in a tent. And sleeping in a tent, even though sometimes it seemed like my tent was going to cave in, that second night I went to sleep, I did not wake up. Again, I was sleeping on 2 foam bedrolls here and 2 foam bedrolls here, so I could roll over under the blanket. Got under that blanket. I put those over my head, and I'm telling you, I did not wake up until the next day. The first night I got there, I slept. I did wake up about maybe 3 in the morning, turned over, turned out my light. The next night, when I hit the hay, that was it. I was exhausted, but it was fun. So guys, check out the upcoming video. Check out the content creators that I'm going to put in the description. And I'm telling you, you're going to want to come there next year. I wish I could just get a plane and just gather people and say, hey, come on. Because I love the fishing challenge, the fishing derby, the fire. I think that was one of the greatest things, the fire challenge. Man, it was a blast. And the shelter building was a blast. All of the wood, the way, again, Dan had all of this wood, harvest this wood, process this wood, and strategically placed it each and every time. It was a blast. So, guys, I want to sit here and talk about it more and more anymore. But be aware, hey, Templar, sounds like it was really good time. I wish I could get a plan also. Man, I'm telling you, words doesn't describe it. You have to really be there. I mean, and I got to eat all the potato chips I wanted to. It's like, okay, well, I can go ahead and spoil myself. Potato chips, fruit, the watermelon, the pineapples, the tangerines, the eggs, the coffee. Oh, I just went on a splurge. It was really good. And again, I had some beans. I just since I hadn't cooked any of my food, it's like, well, let me just do something, and put them next to that fire, open the can, put them in a bowl, put some Doritos on them. That was like, it was really good. And the coffee that we had, when you get that nice straight coffee. And guys, let me ask you this. The way the coffee is made, when it's not percolated, when you actually just get a coffee pot and make some good old strong black coffee. Dan made some. Man, it opened up your eyes. And the first time I put some cream in it, it was really good. Second time, just straight. It's like, yeah, this is the coffee that you need. But anyway, guys, I'm going to hop off of here, start on the video. And guys, check the video out. I mean, I'm not the best editor, but I tried to capture things at night. I wanted you to see exactly what we were seeing. The darkness, the beautiful pond, the greenery, the wood, everything. So with that said, guys, I'm going to head out of here. Everyone stay safe. And I'm going to see you in the bush this weekend and have my new gators on. Again, shout out to Rebecca from Shade Tree Mechanic, as well as Chris from Shade Tree Mechanic, and everyone that's in the chat. I appreciate you coming in, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everyone, and stay safe.